It is hard to believe, folks, that it is Week 10 of the NFL season. Michael Cohen here with you on the Sports Talk Nation. And again, it is hard to believe, folks. We're already at the 10th week of the NFL season. Man, the NFL, it just zips on by. It really does every single year. So we're already at mid-November. It is Week 10. We're entering the critical part of the season. We're starting to talk about playoffs and playoff matchups and seeding. So let's get right at it. Now, this is not a great week of matchups. Yesterday was supposed to be one of the better games of the week. That was on Thursday night between Pittsburgh and Carolina, and that was complete, how should I say this in a PG kind of way? It was garbage. Let's just say that. 52-21 as the Steelers took care of the Panthers on Thursday night, and maybe that's a harbinger of things to come for this week. Now, before we do that, just keep in mind last week, I went 10-3 on the picks last week, so on the season now, a record of 60 wins, 27 losses, and 2 ties. 60, 27, and 2 on the year on the picks so far in the segment on the Open Mic Sports Talk Radio channel. So, as I said, not a lot of great matchups this week. You take a look up and down the lines, you see a lot of 6.5, 5, 7.5. The matchups this week just aren't that appealing. Kansas City, a 16.5-point favorite over the Arizona Cardinals. It stinks. The matchups this week stink. Except for the Cowboys-Eagles game, which should be remotely interesting on Sunday night. Not a lot going on. So let's just get right at it. Maybe the best game of the week might be the Saints and the Bengals when you really think about it. So let's start right there. Saints coming off of a huge win last week against the Los Angeles Rams. 45-35, classic game, a shootout. And the Saints put themselves in position to be potentially the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs with a chance at home field. And they have just been playing great football for a long stretch period of time, folks. Defense has done a nice job. They got some key stops when they needed to last week. And, of course, the offense under Drew Brees has been phenomenal. The Saints have now won 7 games. Now, this week would have been the perfect trap game for the Saints. On the road, coming off of a big win, going up against the Bengals, a team that, at 5-3 earlier this year was playing pretty good football, has struggled the last couple of weeks, lost 2 in a row again in late in October, just barely got by the Bucs in their last effort. This needs to be a game for Marvin Lewis and the Bengals where they go out there and they showcase themselves here. They need a big game. But keep in mind, the Bengals are going into this matchup banged up. I would have loved to take the Bengals in this game if they were healthy. But no A.J. Green, that's going to be a problem. No Tyler Eifert, that's another big weapon loss for them. No Vontaze Burfict at linebacker, that's going to be a loss. So they have a whole bunch of guys they're going to be out of this game and not going to play. Alex Redmond, their guard, out. He's not going to miss this game. Nick Virgil, linebacker, out. He's not going to play this game for the Bengals. So they come into this thing beaten up, going up against possibly one of the best teams, if not maybe the best team in the NFL right now. Certainly the hottest team in the NFL right now. So as much as I want to take the Bengals to win, I can't do it. I got to go with the Saints. So I'm going to say the Saints squeak this one out, and they will win this game 27-20. I'm taking the Saints over the Bengals. Game number 2, the New England Patriots head on the road to take on the Tennessee Titans. Titans coming off of a nice win last week, and a win that they had to have. They had lost 3 in a row before last week, and an inspired effort by them as a team as they went to Dallas and beat the miserable Cowboys 28-14. Marcus Mariota had easily one of his best games as a pro. 21 out of 29, 240 yards, and 2 touchdown passes to lead away for Tennessee. Now, Tennessee is 4-4. They are such a strange team. They're throughout the course of this season, there's been a stretch where their offense has been pitiful. They don't put up a lot of points. They've had to rely on their defense to get the job done. But still they've had signature wins against the Cowboys and against the Eagles this year. Had a win against the Jaguars when a lot of people still thought we all thought the Jaguars were going to be a pretty decent team this year. So they've had significant wins, yet this team has also lost to the Bills. They got shut out by the Ravens. They got beat up by the Chargers. So I don't know what to make of the Titans. And now this week they're going to get the New England Patriots and Tom Brady and company. This could get ugly. Now, I know that the Titans do have a former Patriot there in Mike Vrabel, who is their head coach. He does know something about this Belichick system, but it's going to be a lot to ask for them at home to find a way to upset the Patriots. The Patriots are starting to play good football. Did the Patriots get a bit of a break at the end of that Packer game last week with that penalty against Green Bay? Yes, they did. They absolutely did. But still, they were able to put the Packers away in the fourth quarter. They never trailed in the game last week. And perhaps the Patriots, who have now won 6 in a row, and it hasn't exactly been pretty the way they've done it so far this year. When you take a look at their schedule coming up, you can kind of see them starting to get on a roll here. Really, the game that you mark on the calendar here for the Patriots, the Minnesota Vikings December 2nd, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers December 16th. Those are the two spots you could see them getting tripped up in. Other than that, it's going to be the same old news for the Patriots. They'll take care of business this week against the Titans, 30-21. I'm taking the Patriots. Game number 3, it's the Green Bay Packers and the Miami Dolphins, and again, another ugly matchup this week here for Week 10. I don't know what the NFL was thinking when they scheduled Week 10. I guess they looked at the schedule and said, how can we put together the worst week of games humanly possible? Well, here it is, of course, with Week 10. So, Dolphins and the Packers. Packers coming in, stumbling a little bit, having lost the last couple of games. They need this game big time. They're 3-4-1. The NFC North is a logjam, as we talked about last week. Bears, Vikings, Packers, even the Lions, all of them have a shot in this division. And they get a Miami Dolphin team that just barely beat the Jets last week. This was a Dolphin team that couldn't score a single point offensively last week, with Brock Osweiler and company, with Brock Osweiler leading this team. And by all accounts, it looks like it will be Osweiler again this week for the Dolphins under center. Ryan Tannehill still out with the shoulder injury, so this is going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly early and often. Packers need this game. You know Aaron Rodgers is going to play well. I expect to get big game from him. He's going to get everybody involved, and I think the Packers are going to roll in this game. Really, there's not much to say about this one. Packers need a win, period. 31-16. I'm taking Green Bay over the Fish. Now, next game here, that is game number 4. And this is usually a very good game. That's the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. I'm a little disappointed in Seattle because I thought they would play better against the Los Angeles Chargers. I really did. And even though they closed tight at the end of that game, there was no doubt that the Chargers were going to win that one. And now they go into Los Angeles to take on a Rams team that we're going to learn a lot about this week. You know, when you think about the best teams and the great teams, they always find a way to rebound after a bad loss. We've seen that with the Patriots for years, where they lose a game and then rebound the next week with a win. Very rarely do they lose multiple games in a row. Are the Rams that kind of team? Now, yes, I know they had a great year last year, but this is a much different year, much different team with greater expectations. This is a team that expects to go to a Super Bowl this year. So, how do they rebound at home against a divisional rival that, over the years, these two teams have played really tight games? Even this year, the Rams just barely won in Seattle 33-31. It was a tight game, tight, high-scoring game. So I could see that again here. And, you know, if I were betting the line, and I believe the line is 9.5, which is a lot of points to get in this game, I would tell you to take the Seahawks just based on the line, because these two teams historically play very close games. But since I'm just picking the team that's going to win, I have to go with the Rams. They are home. I can't go against them there. I think Todd Gurley's going to have a good game against the Seattle defense, which has issues. Certainly has a lot of issues. It's not nearly the same Seattle team defensively that we've gotten used to over the years. And I expect a big performance from the Rams. I think they'll do enough to win another tight game. I'll say 24-20. Rams take care of the Seahawks. Now, the last real feature game that's taking place this week is the Sunday night game. Eagles and the Cowboys out of the NFC East. And a lot of this, I could even include the Redskins in this too because they're part of the story. Who is the team that's going to win this division? Will it be Washington? Will it be Philly? And until last week, Dallas was in the conversation. Now they're pretty much out of it at 3-5. They could get themselves back into it to win. But, that they're part of this conversation. They're not really part of this conversation. The Eagles have been start, stop all year. And at some point, we got to find out, can this Eagle team get rolling? They had a nice win 2 weeks ago against the Jaguars in London. The week before that, they lost at home to the Panthers. The week before that, they beat the Giants. We thought, okay, here they're going to get rolling. Here we go. So, what is it going to be with the Eagles? What is it going to be with this team? And we all know how talented they are. We all know that Carson Wentz and Jay Ajayi, Zach Ertz, Nelson Aguilar, and we can go up and down the lineup. We all know how talented this team is, but they've got to find a way to the Eagles to put it together. This is a prime opportunity for them to do so against the Cowboy team that right now has really no confidence. Beat up. Zach Martin listed as questionable. Tavon Austin is listed as doubtful. They got their own injuries. Dak Prescott has been inconsistent all season long. The running game has been inconsistent. So this is it. This is their chance. And if the Eagles are going to make their move, as I think they will in this division, they have to have this game. I think they will win this game. So I'm taking the Eagles to win over the Cowboys 34-17. And then we're going to start to see this move by the Eagles in this division. And I think they will eventually win this division when we get to that point. Okay, so those are my picks for the featured games for this week. Now let's take a look at the big board. Let's bring it up here. As I said, not a lot of great matchups this week. Chiefs and the Cardinals. This is a 16.5-point game favoring the Chiefs. And yeah, I would say take the Chiefs and the points and run with it. Cardinals are light years away from being a good team again. Josh Rosen still got a lot of work to do. Going into Kansas City against this Chiefs team is not going to be fun for them. Another big day for Patrick Mahomes. And yes, the defense will show up for Kansas City. KC wins 35-13. Bills and the Jets, oh my goodness, the worst game of human history. Or at least until Monday night when the Niners and Giants play. No Sam Darnold. Todd Bowles is on a hot seat. Josh McCown's going to play this game for the Jets, which will be his first game in well over a year. Got injured in the Denver game last November. And this could get ugly. This will be ugly. The Bills will be starting Nathan Peterman, it sounds like, again. I just don't understand why Sean McDermott can't get enough of Nathan Peterman. I just don't get it. I just could see a low-scoring, ugly football game, and with the way the Jets are playing, with no confidence, and no confidence in this head coach, I could see them letting the Buffalo Bills hang around in this game, but because Nathan Peterman sucks, the Jets will find a way to win. 19-13. I can't believe I spent more than a minute on the Jets and Bills game. I should be ashamed of myself. Jets win 19-13 over the Bills. Redskins and Buccaneers. Now, the Redskins come into this game, they're beaten up. They really are beaten up in this game. They have a whole bunch of injuries in the offensive line. 4 injuries on the offensive line, in fact. This could be a scary situation for them going into Tampa Bay, but I will take them to win. I don't feel confident about this pick because I know the Buccaneers are a team that likes to score a lot of points. So I do understand that, and of course Ryan Fitzpatrick, when he has played extremely well. But I'll take the team that makes the less mistakes over the team that doesn't. I'll take the Redskins to win over the Buccaneers somehow, some way. Next up, Lions and the Bears. Now, here's another matchup. These two teams are going to see each other in a couple weeks again anyway on Thanksgiving. I like the Bears to win this game, taking them 30-20 over the Lions. Lions haven't been playing that well of late. Bears playing good football again. Looked good last week against the bad Buffalo team. I think they get the win again at home against the Lions. Falcons and Browns. This could get ugly. Now, either the Falcons play down to the competition and leave the Browns in the game, or they're going to blow them out. I think they're going to blow them out, so I'm going to take the Falcons to win 41-16. Jaguars and Colts. I don't trust the Jaguars at all anymore. I really don't. Would I be shocked if they win this game? I wouldn't. Talent-wise, they probably should win this game over the Colts, but I will take the Colts, who have been playing a little better of late compared to the Jaguars, who have been team turmoil over the last few weeks. So I'm going to take the Colts to win a narrow one, 27-26. Raiders and Chargers. A lot of people are getting on the Charger bandwagon after what they did last week against the Seattle Seahawks. Could this be a trap game? It could. It is a divisional game. But the Raiders are just such a mess right now. I mean, the Raiders lost to the 49ers last week and a third-string quarterback that nobody ever heard of. So, a lot of problems going on over there in Oakland. Chargers are going to win this game, I say fairly comfortably, 34-19. And the last game, the Giants and the 49ers on Monday Night Football. This game is going to be horrible. Two bad teams going nowhere. Giants right now at 1-7, 49ers at 2-7. This is the kind of game where I would say don't jump on the bandwagon of the young quarterback in Nick Mullins, and then he goes out there and does what he did last week again. So I'm going to be very cautious. I'll take the 49ers in this game. That's probably not what I should do. I probably should take the Giants here in this game, but I'll take the 49ers and Nick Mullins. I think he'll probably have a late drive somehow, and he'll beat the Giants, and the Giants are going to have egg all over their face again. Oh, by the way, Odell Beckham is running around saying the Giants can win 8 straight. Yeah, okay, that's not happening. Niners beat the Giants 23-21 to end a not-so-great week of matchups in the NFL in week number 10. So that will do it for this one, folks. I want to thank you again for tuning in. Remember to follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/OpenMicProgram, at OpenMicNJ on Twitter, and of course right here, like and subscribe right here to the Sports Talk Nation right here on YouTube. Talk to you next time.